from his teammates will allow for you to go for a snowball type of a team fight. You know, that because that's how it is with the Severe. You get one takedown, and the duration of your on the hunt basically prolongs, right? Basically lengthens by itself. And so now this pick up as well on the checks. It's all about team fighting for Fennel now, and I really cannot wait for them to start this again with all the confidence boost that happened in game number 1. We know these players, right? They ride and die with their confidence.
They don't hesitate at all to go in, no matter what the odds are. They commit, and that proved to be really great in the previous game. This time around, they have to continue, be consistent on it, at least on the positive parts. I don't like Fennel being on the receiving end of a one-sided beatdown at the start of the game, them making mistakes, them getting punished. I want to see more proactiveness and efficiency on Fennel.
That's the goal, but knowing Fennel and their, I would say, their preference to play around Chaz, I won't be surprised if Chaz will go for a carry champion once again. There is still a possibility for a Yone pickup here, especially against the 8 rocks. That's also one of the picks that we have to consider. And I just look at their records here, Kiyang. The last time that Fennel was able to win a game was back in November 19 against KT Rolser Y. And it's been a long time since they've won a game. I'm talking about a map, right? I'm talking about a game. It's been a long time. Now, interestingly, they're banning away the Nautilus and the Galio at the same time, which is basically allows for the Gragas to have a heyday, right? Even the Orin got targeted. So what will be the support here for FPX? Possibly Rakan, I think?
Or Alistar? I mean, it's still a great option, but not as flashy as a Galio, as a Nautilus. It can pave a way for at least a proper front line, but in terms of setting up, it might be complicated this time.
Yes, possible. Oh, Chazix back on the menu. And this is what I kind of expected, right? They want Chaz to still be the star of the show, and on the Kha'Zix, it will just be that. Now, the answer by Helios to the looming threat in the mid lane is to just control the mid lane by going for wave clear, and that's the role of the Orianna, right? Like, at no point will the Orianna win against the Vladimir in a 1v1 scenario.
Yeah.
But if your goal is to just clear the wave, wait for your items to spike up, wait for the team fights in where you will have a very good ultimate to work with, right? The Shockwave. We've seen a lot of Shockwaves win team fights by himself. Now the Alistar is going to get picked up here by FPX. So again, in a 5v5 scenario, but just because of what happened in game number 1, I feel, it's more of a 50-50 now, rather than, being favored to FPX. But it's all up to FPX to weather the storm, because it's that game loss in game number 1 was the definition of a tilter, Kiyang. And I know on the other side, Fennel is feeling it, and their confidence is at an all-time high.
I want to see a great Shockwave later on from Fennel, because one Filipino player has been able to do it before. From Now's Esports, Mitsura landed a great Shockwave when they matched upon OMG, and I think that's one of the things that Fennel is trying to channel right now. They need it. They need to channel every single bit of energy to take down FPX, finally securing them a win. But that's just theoretical. FPS can still push this to a game number 3. They have a great composition for team fighting as well.
Exactly. Right. As long as you have the Vladimir and the 8 rocks on your side, chances are this team fights will prove to be very hard. But if Fennel plays by their playstyle, which is to prolong the team fights and have Chaz and Helios go for the pokes before going all in, because that's the thing, right? Even if this is an all-in composition with a Severe being there, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go all in all the time, right? Like, you still have to pick your spots, you still have to pick your fights, and it will come down as to what the scenarios are currently before starting the team fight, and it will depend with the pokes, with the way Fennel goes for the, I would say, chip damage before going all in.
Chaz has to, or rather, Spells has to be very, very safe here in the top lane as well. He will be targeted a lot for sure. Chaz will be looking into helping him out for sure. Shingdao 7 having Camille and Aatrox does have a bit of a standing chance against the Jax and the Kazakhs, especially just because of the crowd control.
Right, but if you're Fennel, you want that to happen. You want Spells to be targeted because the amount of time that a Jax can buy you with the counter strike available, as well as the passive of his ultimate, it allows for Spells to, call in reinforcements and will make Fennel just be in time to go and support him. But again, with the way the wave is situated right now, it does appear like that Spells will have to surrender priority on the top side. And like he cannot overextend. You look at the pathing of Shingdao 7, he's in the position to go for a gank top lane, and that needs to be respected by Spells.
Every single time. Camille, Aatrox, very deadly. Just one bit of overextension by Spells can lead to his demise. That's why he's given so much respect right now, and at least in the laning phase, while Chaz can be given an opportunity to gank bot lane.
Proving a lot more difficult with how the wave is situated right now. On the top side though, with Dawn 128 getting the crash and preventing and denying a lot of minions XP and gold. Dawn 128 over. Oh wait, he missed his stun. But it actually is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it's true.
Had it been that the stun connected, I think FPX would go for the counterplay, and it could have resulted into Spells dying in the top lane. So yeah, luckily the stun did not connect for Spells.
Yeah, Shingdao 7 was smiling already until that smile turned into a frown. Unfortunate for FPX, they didn't have their chance. Chaz though will be trying to get some entry here into the mid lane Spells. Or rather, Helios is here.
I don't think they can get a kill against the Vladimir. Right? Like the only reason why Chaz is here is to try to counter gank, or to counter jungle, taking away some resources away from the Aatrox. Because in a scenario in where the Aatrox gets to gank this Orianna, which is happening right now. Let's see though. Helios.
That was so close! You 1 HP but still lives. Chaz is gonna be here for the interrupt as well. Oof.
Oh, okay, but that is again lane advantage for the mid laner of FPX. Sky has been enjoying, all this ganks from Shingdao 7. It's like serving, a very good lead in a golden platter, and that's been the goal for FPX ever since game number 1. Now FPX's solo laners advantage topside, advantage mid lane, which is the same thing that happened in game number 1. But the difference here is that there is no return play coming in from Chaz as of yet, right? There's no counter ganks as of yet, no kills for him. And the saving grace for Fennel in game number 1 was that Chaz was getting a lot of kills, getting a lot of resources. In this game, it's not yet happening, at least for their squad.
At least there's no kills happening on FPX as well. I think that's a good sign too. Trades aren't really necessary, but come minute 5 for sure, we might see a team fight happening. Fennel might want to secure RH just so they can finally get a bit of a gold lead and help the scaling here of the Orianna and of the Jax as well. But FPX can also fight back. This is a team fighting composition once again with so much crowd control.
And one of the things that we have to consider as well is the placements of the wards. We saw right then and there that Chaz was spotted on a ward going back, and that gives a lot of information towards FPX. You look at the top side, like that's 3 plates gone already. And that's the thing, like even Danny having to use his exhaust just to survive an all-in coming in from Dawn 128, but Chaz and company already starting this Ocean Dragon. That's the first objective. Heading over to their side, and they will try to convert it into more tower plates here in the bot lane. But you look at the top side, the tower is almost destroyed, even without the use of the Rift Herald.
They don't need it, but they will use it into the mid lane instead. Spells rather will be disengaging. Shingdao 7 still committing. They do take the tower down. And FPX happy with what's happening right now, macro-wise.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they don't need the kills to get a lead. You look at the goal lead that FPX was able to get at the first 5 minutes of the game. Granted that they had a Rift Herald, granted that they have the tempo advantage just because of it. Just the fact that they were able to get a lot of tower plates on the top side without even needing... Oh wait, something happening here. Don 1 to 8.
Danny gonna be free hitting at least. Horizon and Chaz are fine. And FPX starting to establish their dominance.
Wait, Kong wants to delay their backs just in time for Chow to appear here. Oh no, okay. Presence of Mind coming in from Horizon. But he's less than half health. Chow?
They will dive, forcing the flash here of Danny. Chaz is gonna be here, forcing out the Featherstorm as well, since the Helios does have the Shockwave. Great move from Fennel. They were able to prevent the tower takedown.
Yeah, they don't have enough mana though for both Horizon and Danny. That is the only reason why there's no punishment for the over-aggression here by FPX. But round number 2, yeah, sure, they were able to defend the tower first time, but a push number 2 by FPX will give them all power plates. All power plates. In the early
and all the lanes.
No way, like, whenever this happens, whenever you get all the tower plates, like that's how many? 15 tower plates in the game?
Yeah.
That's a huge injection of gold towards your team. And you look at the advantage right now, that's already 4k gold advantage without having the need to get 1 kill. And that's the macro advantage that FPX is enjoying. It's not just the macro, right? It's also the laning advantage that they were able to get.
And right now, this is massive scaling being allowed here for FPX just through the macro. They don't go on kills, they don't go too aggressive, they don't go reckless, and it's still benefiting them so much on a scaling lineup. Aatrox, Zaya, Vladimir, even the Camille is gonna be having a great time later on to engage towards Danny.
The theme of the game for FPX is to not go overconfident. Horizon though might get caught here.
It's fine. Chaz though is a different one. Gets Hextech Ultimatum in, still is able to jump away. Especially because of the help of Helios and Danny.
Again, FPX, the goal is to remain disciplined. Not give any picks to Chaz. Because that was the only way that Fennel was able to win game number 1, right? And again, just by denying those kills, it allowed for FPX to enjoy a sizable lead this early. And you know, you look at the chances of Fennel winning this game, they need to force something. They need to get a pick. They need something for Chaz. And so far, FPX has done a great job in denying all of that.
They're giving him a league diet, basically. No kills, no assists, nothing. Just farm. And it's much better here for Shingdo 7 this time around. He will be continuing to scale. Meanwhile, this Kha'Zix of Chaz will just fall off eventually.
Oh, Chaz. How many seconds have been burned? Right, like for the entire time he was there, he was trying to set up a gank against Don 1 to 8, but Don 1 to 8 knows something was up and will remain defensive throughout. Now Fennel will try to force the issue here on the top side. Half health on the tower, but you look at the response here by FPX. They're sending over the 3 people already.
So many. Spells as well is gonna be left out. Chow's gonna go in towards Chaz as Shingdo 7 is following up. Great cast coming in, but only actually puts them a lot closer. Danny still survives. Featherstorm gonna be used here to try to sway them out. Chow as well just going in, preventing spells from being able to exit out.
No way.
It's gonna get taken down. A second kill as well. The minute we saw the fight coming in, FPX just gets the upper hand.
It was a 4v5 Hyung. Sky was not even part of that team fight, and FPX won it handily. And that's the thing that is happening right now. Fennel with no resources to really challenge this rampage that FPX is doing right now. Like everyone is super confident. You look at Shingdo, he was pushed away, but he's already level 11 ahead of almost everyone. It was kind of lucky that Explosive Cast pushed away Shingdo, that his Darkened Blade still hit onto one of the primary target. In the end though, that's still FPX getting 1-2 kills already and adding more advantage to their side without having the need for the Vladimir to be there.
The only positive thing here inside of Fennel is that they are sulfur. I've picked up 2 Dragon Sacks so far. Fennel able to, again, go towards the scaling part is a good sign here in this match against FPX. But they still have no answers for team fighting for macro.
It's a steal, yeah? Okay. Yeah, because I thought for a second that, hey, there was no way for them to get a second dragon. Like, you look at their game state right now, it's impossible for them to get a second dragon. So I thought initially that it was a steal, and it was indeed a steal. Chaz,
good job,
still
Chaz.
doing he's still doing God's work for Fennel here.
Yeah.
The only reason why they're still in the position to have a chance of winning this game is because of this guy.
There is for Chaz to carry out this game. It's basically channeling the golden days of Chaz, and also for recent events, the time that Long was able to carry the game and prove to have a comeback during their match against JT.
Yeah. Okay, that's you also look at the game right now, and we have to consider what soul will be given, and that will be the Ocean Soul, which is a lot of sustain for the members of Fennel. But FPX can just do this, right? They can go for a sneaky Baron play, control the dark areas, and force Fennel to face check. Oh man. Oh no.
And look at how
they have
fast
no
this
idea.
fight is being taken right now. Chao gonna be putting a Ryzen in harm's way.
Wait.
Healers though does have this shockwave, Chingo 7 just preventing all of the front line being patterned. And now the Aether's gonna be gone. Chao's getting something out, but the Black Bear of Guys is gonna go in. No harms followed here by FPX. They are just having the utmost confidence to rain on Fennel, especially because of this Vladimir.
Spells was too far away, and yes, you're right, Sky was the main reason why FPX was able to win that team fight. But I thought for a second that that was the best fight possible for Fennel. Because we have to remember that Baron Nashor, it shreds down your armor and magic resistance, and you see the engage here arise, and with a very timely stasis, it basically allowed for Fennel to just go for the front to back here, getting that 1 kill. But Xiao getting that knock up against Chaz was basically the reason why FPX was still able to run away with things. Spells again being late to the party. You cannot fault Spelts though, right? Like at the end of the day, wherever Spelts were, it was, right? It was a decision of Fennel to have him split push. He's the Jax anyway. And he doesn't have teleport, right? That's the only way to join the fight in an instant. Still though, FPX enjoys a very good lead by taking the Baron, and I guess it's safe to say that, you know, with the Baron joining the team of FPX, it's close to insurmountable for Fennel.
And this time with the lead, with the buff, FPS is slowly closing out towards their inhibitor towers. Only one outer turret remains standing, and that's the one in the bottom lane. But later on, Dawn is just going to be taking it down as well.
With the 1-3-1 being initiated here by FPX, there is just no way for Fennel to challenge this unless they go all in on towards one lane. Wait, hang on. FPX still being very disciplined with their approach, and they're not forcing things. But finally, they have taken down the tower here in the bot lane, and FPX, will they over pursue? Will they over push? Looks like that's not going to be the case because the Baron is set to expire soon.
Yeah, they're evolving. They continue to evolve. Sky actually just going in towards Danny and Chance, just pressuring them out. That damage is still massive though, with just 1 poke.
Right. Wow, okay. So FPX, with what happened in game number 1, they don't want to throw away this game, right? Because had it been that the game number 1 blunder did not happen, 100%, I'm sure that FPX will try to open up the base of Fennel. But that did not happen, and FPX is still respective of a potential turnaround.
Chaz could have been denied. Yeah, with the stasis. Chaz could be used though, no hit whatsoever towards FPX. But at least they save Chaz.
They're denying the dragon, and again, this is the Ocean Soul that can turn around the team fight or the game for Fennel. Oh, the dragon already half health, and you know, good job by Chao, just denying entry. They have vision. They know that the dragon is being started. But Chao, being the big shield here in the dragon, will deny the soul for Fennel, and so now FPX, they have done a very good job, right? Like, they know that the only way for Fennel to come back is for them to get the soul for themselves, and it was just easily denied by Fun plus Phoenix.
And Fennel only has one or two chances remaining here in this game to come back, and that's through mistakes of FPX. And so far, they're not making any mistake. They've been very methodical, calculated movements being demonstrated in this game, in a huge adjustment, especially compared to game number 1.
They're very cautious, I guess is the term right now. Like they don't want to commit any mistake. They don't want to, unlike game number 1 in where there was a door left open for Fennel to at least ram through. It's not the case here in game number 2 because FPX just has controlled every facet of the game, and denying that soul was massive. Kong though, he has to be careful.
Ryzen not committing, but Chow will, and Kong is just free hitting as well. Sky going in with the flash. Chaz in a lot of trouble. Sky will be interfered. Goes in with Kaz. Sky though is still okay, and goes towards Spells instead. Shingdo 7 accessing the front line this time around. Spell is still able to stay alive, which is good for Fennel. But FPX now running towards the Baron.
That's a lot of sustain, and Danny can still heal up using the Bloodthirster. Chow on the Alistar again. Bodyguard duty.
Body slam gonna be used. Chow is still defending, and no access for Chaz.
No
Baron's gonna get taken. Spelso is gonna go in. Hexacle Dividend gonna be used and take him down easily as always on this Jax. And now Shingdo 7 is gonna run the blue. Chaz gonna get assassination. Goes on the reset, jumps away as well towards Sky as well. And still, Chow is doing a really good job. Blood Pool gonna be used, and Sky's still gonna be fine. Chow just finishing up the kill onto the Kazik, but unable to do it actually. Still is able to stay alive.
Come on.
Fennel still is in this game. Shingdo 7 is hunting.
He can do this!
Though doesn't have the isolation chances to run away.
Yeah, very lucky that the Raptors was there to prevent the isolation. Chaz still has the flash, running away,
jumping
for his life. Now, if he ever goes down, that will be the game, and he knows it. Chaz knows it. Shingdo 7 still on the chase.
Woo! The envy. The shield as well is gonna be there. The isolation. Shingdo 7 stasis. Sky's gonna be there, healing.
This guy
actually allowed him to stay alive.
He's still so good. And now that the Elder Dragon is being started, I like the chase down by FPX on towards Chaz and not converting onto anything, but a lot of time for Fennel. You see that the Baron buff was not even utilized by FPX properly.
And this is why you have to respect Fennel, even if they are on a lose streak. Given how they were able to punish FPX in game number 1, they can do it again, and FPX knows it.
Is it the result of FPX being a little bit too cautious this time? Right? Like, just the fact that they overchased a champion is a testament of that, right? Like, oftentimes FPX will just go back and use the Baron effectively, but they, similar to us, the killer instinct kicked in. But Chaz was still able to survive. He's level 15 right now, Giang, and by himself, he's still the bastion of hope for Fennel to win this all.
FPX now giving so much respect towards Fennel, especially because of the possibility of comeback. Especially because of Chaz right now in his playstyle was able to assassinate so many of the members of FPX, or at least instill fear, and it's now affecting their movements.
Right. Now Chow goes for the engage, saw Chaz and Ryzen.
Body slam gonna be used. Chow is still fine, but procs up as the ult, and that's gonna be timed by Fennel.
Right. You saw the movements of FPX. Sky?
He goes in! Chaz gonna be in a lot of trouble. Shingdo 7 gonna be slashing the shore. Darken Blade. Sky going in onto Helios! Just bursting him down, and Fennel is gonna be crumbling towards the ground, and FPX loves it! Sky becoming unstoppable! A triple kill! And Spell's gonna be running away, unable to defend the base. FPX is gonna be fine with the chase because they can just go in again.
He had no vision. He thought for a second that FPX was trying to force the Elder, and again, it's all about the macro for FPX. That should not deter them in getting this Nexus for game number 2, and we will have a game number 3, Gia.
And FPX is the one to prove to have the endurance in this game number 2, set a trap for Chaz to pick up and punish them all.
Yeah, it's a shame that we don't have a replay of that final team fight, because I know for a